Leading us off is Gregg Freeman from Kwikbond Polymers. He's the Director of Business Development for Kwikbond Polymers.
So anyway, I'm here to talk about the FHWA, Bridge Preservation Expert Task Group, pocket guides that we developed. If anyone had a chance to look at Lorella Angelini's blog, she did an article this month on basically why we decided we wanted to do these pocket guides, and I'll give you a brief kind of Reader's Digest version. Is that over the years, especially at these regional partnership meetings, there's a lot of conversation, and there was today over lunch actually, specific preservation activities that failed early for some reason. And often, the thing I use is like you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater thing, not understanding why various preservation activities might fail, not understanding it based on condition assessment or application method or specs or inspectors. So anyway, we looked at various preservation activities that were more prone to failure because of a misunderstanding or miscommunication, decided we were going to come up with a checklist kind of pocket guides. These pocket guides, I'll go through a brief overview, and then I want to show you a video that the Federal Highway developed that kind of goes along with this. Ultimately, it's a checklist, kind of a guide, so it's very simple to use. An inspector can use it in the field, go through the checklist, sign it, even send it back and put it in a job file. It's an amazing tool. Anybody here in this room that has a smartphone right now, whether it's an Android or an iPhone, can go up there and download these apps right now, and you can open up the checklist and use them. And at the Southeast Preservation, I actually had a few people. Anybody that wants to download the apps right now, you're welcome to do it. Anyway, the first four that we did, thin polymer overlay, bridge cleaning and washing, which doesn't seem to fit the category of activity that something can go wrong, but that's kind of an activity that's new. A lot of people don't understand the value of bridge cleaning, for one, and also environmental hurdles is a big deal, and why it's so effective, benefit cost-wise. Joint systems, that one's kind of on the back burner. We're redoing that one a little bit, and removal and replacement of bridge coatings. So those are the first four. How did we develop these? We reached out and found subject matter experts for each category, and those subject matter experts gathered other subject matter experts, so they put a group together, developed the content. There was a lot of work that went into these. We had state DOT officials, maintenance people, we had academia, a lot of people involved in just the development process. And once we developed them, we went out for review and revision and revision. The idea was to have a checklist format. So it's simple. If you pull it up on your phone, you can literally go through the checklist as an inspector. It may not line up exactly with the specification. The only concern might be if an inspector sees something on there that's not in line with the spec. But the intent is, part of our audience for these, as you'll see, is the design folks as well. So if the design folks understand best practices, that will trickle down into the construction documents, and the inspectors will have the opportunity to use these, as well as the contractors can use them also. Like I said, potential failure mechanisms. These three of the four are already done and available right now. As I mentioned, the intended users, maintenance crews as well. If you have crews that want to, some of the other ones we're going to do are sealing, crack sealing, and bridge sealers and things. But anyway, maintenance crews can use these. The design folks, I think it's real important that they understand best practices when you're developing specifications, because if you don't have a good specification, the contractor's going to bid a job in accordance with the construction documents, and if they don't include best practices, QA, QC, then the inspector can't tell the contractor what to do. They're going to bid in accordance to the construction documents. Checklist format was important because you can literally go through. You can pull these right off the TSP2 website. I'm going to show you where they are. But ultimately, if you have the phone app, you can carry it around with you and literally use the checklist on site. We wanted to avoid potential failure mechanisms. It's kind of a technical support tool. We were talking earlier today about ultimately how these can be used as a technical tool without having to always have the technical representative supplier manufacturer be there on the job. But you can see there's a lot of information that's available in these pocket guides. This is the content just for the thin overlay. We talk about the intent, why did we develop these? What is a thin overlay? What's the intent of the application and how to use it properly? The design intent is different. It's meant to, minimize the intrusion of moisture and chlorides, de-icing chemicals, things like that. So if you look through any of these guides, you're going to get a very, very good, clear, broad perspective of why this is a valuable tool, and then you'll understand that who are the users of the tool and make sure that they have access to it and it's available. Here's just some of this information on the various pocket guides. Some of these, like when we talk about bridge coatings, we're going to have, the next one is going to be spot painting and repairs, I think, that we're working on right now, because there was so much content just in this removal and replacement one alone, as you can see. So here's how you would access them right on the TSP2 webpage. You can see the circle there. There's a direct link. As far as the phone apps, you just get on there, like on your iPhone and on your app, and you search for these pocket guides, and they come up fairly easily. If you have problems finding them, let us know. There's some shortcuts. A big part of this is the implementation plan. We're trying to coordinate with a lot of other folks that are out there. TSP2 is doing some training as well, and we're trying to get some support from them, and we're also supporting their efforts. Webinars. We're trying to get some industry folks to get out and help us with these presentations, maybe through LTAP. We're trying to get support from state agencies as well, to go out and support the use of these pocket guides. And we're also I'm going to talk tomorrow about the local agency outreach, because we're going to use that. We're all going to try to support each other on this stuff. AASHTO, the TC3 has come up with some videos that go along with these pocket guides, which are very cool, and they're available. Familiar with what TC3 is doing in the training videos? I don't know how many states. Do you know how many states have actually paid for that, Ed?
I don't know.
Anyway, once the states pay, all states and local agencies have access to all their training. It's a very extensive library of videos and training. And also, if you're a local agency, you have access, because the Federal Highway paid for LTAP, to allow local agencies to access to all this training. Here's the other guides that are coming up. You can see them listed here. And also the LMC folks were asking that may be another pocket guide. We're going to talk about funding at our next meeting, how far we can go with this, and we're going to keep going. These 4 pocket guides, you can see there's drafts for the spot zone painting is under review, outlines being developed for substructure preservation, deck patching is a draft, and we're revising the joint system. I do think I have time to play this video, and we're going to go directly to the link.
Of the more than 600,000 bridges in the U.S., 40% are 50 years or older. State departments of transportation, local agencies, and other bridge owners are facing significant challenges in addressing the needs of their aging infrastructure.
We're getting a large number of bridges that are at the point where they either need some maintenance or replacement, and with limited funds, we can't just replace everything when we need to necessarily. So preservation helps us maintain those structures for a little bit longer life and lets us use our limited funds maybe more efficiently than we could otherwise.
Bridge preservation prevents, delays, or reduces deterioration of bridges, restores function, keeps bridges in good or fair condition, and extends bridge service life.
We have to do something when the bridge condition is still in good or fair condition, rather than let it deteriorate into poor condition. Then we have to do major rehab or replacement. We need to do cost-effective thing at the right time, at the right place.
Preservation is not simply short-term fixes to bridges in poor condition. Preservation, done properly, is a planned, cost-effective program to avert poor condition. Bridge preservation is eligible for federal funding. However, routine maintenance is not. Routine maintenance is work that is performed in reaction to an event or season, such as trash, snow, graffiti, and dead animal removal.
Our goal is to increase the longevity of our infrastructure. Preservation activities, whether they are cyclic or condition-based, both help in extending the life of a structure.
All bridges are candidates for preservation. A bridge in good condition is a candidate for cyclic preservation activity. Fair condition bridges may need both cyclic and condition-based activities, and poor condition bridges, if it makes economic sense, may also be a candidate for condition-based preservation activity or rehabilitation. Cyclical activities include cleaning the bridge and its joints, flushing drains, and sealing the deck, rails, cracks, and concrete. Condition-based maintenance activities are performed on bridge components in response to known defects. There is a long list of activities. What is considered most effective varies from state to state. In Florida, it is common to install cathodic jackets to pilings.
Chip all the bad concrete off of the pilings, install the jacket the way it is to this point, verify that the steel inside the piling is electrically continuous to itself, and it has to be for the system to work. Then we verify that the external jacket that was installed is electrically continuous. From this point is where we are now, where I checked all the wiring to make sure that it's not shorted.
Engineers say cathodic protection prolongs the life of the repair at least 10 years by introducing a small amount of electrical current to the steel.
The corrosion won't get any better, but it won't get any worse. It will not corrode anymore.
Every state takes a different approach.
Bridge preservation in Louisiana entails looking at bridges from a preventive maintenance standpoint and to see how we can extend the service life of the bridges.
Louisiana began dedicating money to the program in 2006 with $3 million annually. Since then, the program has grown to an average of $8 to $9 million a year.
So we do that by looking at different types of repair that we can do on the bridges that we determined to be preventive maintenance. And those things are concrete spall repair, painting, deck joint replacements, relief joint replacements, and deck overlays.
Iowa has a similar size program.
We'll do more deck patching, joint replacement, some approach pavement repair work, that type of thing that's harder to get done with our normal program funds. They're things that happen fairly quickly and you need to react to them, and this money helps us react to things a lot faster when we need to, or do some of the deck washings and things that we'd like to do that we can't otherwise do.
Bridge preservation isn't just a focus for many states. Local agencies are also making it a priority. St. Clair County, Michigan started with a two-man crew and a foreman in 2016.
It was kind of a trial run for me for our first year, and then our managing director liked what we were doing and wanted to take it to another level, so we added 2 more guys to our crew.
The Road Commission even purchased an old military vehicle and retrofitted it to transport the team and its equipment. The 5-member crew refurbishes 10 to 15 bridges a year, using a budget of $350,000.
You just start small. You find bridges that may be 20 years old or 10 years old, and depending on what kind of surface, concrete or asphalt, you kind of, once you go through your inspection process, you start seeing, okay, this deck has a few cracks in it, this would be a good candidate to do a waterproofing on.
While not all bridge preservation activities can be done in-house, Rogers says using county employees for some activities, rather than contractors, can allow for better control of the budget and the schedule. To do work in-house on federal aid projects, the work must first be found to be more cost-effective than competitive bidding.
Our boss said, get good at something, he said, and get good at it and just keep on doing it over and over again. So we're getting good at, say, 4 or 5 techniques, and we'll just keep repeating it and watch the results.
The St. Clair County Road Commission asked current employees to volunteer for the bridge preservation team. They then used internal resources to train them.
Ask your crews if they want to do this work, and most of them will try it. Do they want to fill a pothole every day? No. Would they want mind painting a bridge deck or fixing something else that they can see and say, point to that when they're driving home and show their kids, I did that.
Allocating funds and dedicating personnel are just 2 steps to creating a successful bridge preservation program.
I think one of the things that a state should do is always look at what your surrounding states are doing. They usually have similar issues, similar weather patterns and traffic issues that you have, that you can gain a lot of information from what they're doing.
Secondly, they would need to contact our local division office, FHWA, to see what criteria that would be helpful in establishing the program. Lastly, I would get involved with an organization called Bridge Preservation Partnership. And you can find information about that partnership on the website. It's called tsp2.org.
The Federal Highway Administration has also created this Bridge Preservation Guide. The guide defines preservation terms and identifies commonly practiced bridge preservation activities. It also provides guidance on establishing or improving an existing bridge preservation program as part of an asset management program.
If you look at the bridge condition trends for NHS bridges per NBI, since 1995, as our inventory ages, the population of bridges in fair condition are increasing. Bridge preservation is the only way we can slow this increasing trend.
For more information, refer to the Bridge Preservation Guide found online at this web address.
Download those apps. If you have any opportunity to use them, please do, because it's a really great tool, and they're going to continue. We'll come out with some more. So,
Let's give Greg a round of applause.
The preceding was produced by the National Center for Pavement Preservation. More information can be found on the web at pavementpreservation.org. Additional support provided by Michigan State University.